big savings over a previous company for propane. So slowly we're getting kind of a downward trend on what it's costing to heat the town hall. We should know better after this year, even though it was a bit of an odd year.
Did you see any much of a change between the oil and the propane?
I think the efficiency.
But I mean, as far as price-wise, is there a savings with the propane?
With actual per gallon, no, not really. But with the overall efficiency of the system,
yeah,
we're using
just
less.
maintenance too.
Maintenance is almost
not there, right?
They will be once a year just to check the system.
Yeah.
He was here. He had to come in and help get some air out of the system. At the same time, they check it. Yeah. Every year, it's a problem with the air in the system.
Yeah. Because you know, everybody goes back and forth. You know, oil, propane drops down a little bit, and everybody says, "Well, propane's the way to go." Then all of a sudden, oil starts dropping down. I was just wondering.
Yeah. Maintenance, elevator. Like every year, the elevators. I think the service contract is around $3,700. Any work on the boiler, equipment inspections, including elevator, boiler, water heater, fire extinguishers, AC service, building repairs, all that's in there. Keeping it the same as before. Internet did go up. Oh no, actually contract service, that was kind of added in there. That's the alarm monitoring, the access control, and the fire radio for the security for the building. That is all being monitored by Berkshire Alarm. Internet did go up. And water testing is water testing. Government, I did not put anything in for Selectman proposed for my own salary. I'll probably let the Board of Finance deal with that, what they want to do. Administrative assistant, executive assistant, 2.5%. The secretary receptionist, we didn't use one this year, and I think we can possibly get away with that again. I just kept $250 in there just in case. When Laurel was gone, I was here answering the phones during the day too, so kind of filled in along for that. Property. Computer. File server maintenance. We added 5 mailboxes to our number of mailboxes we support. So there's an increase on the month, every month for each mailbox. There's a cost. So that was put into there. Basically, that does cover the service contract for IT, archiving of mailboxes, mailbox support, with the additional 5 mailboxes. Any questions on any line items there? Town council. Kind of swapped, hearing some things about how we never budget enough for town council. And that's true. I think every year it seems to go over. This year was a little different. We had the closing out issues with the fire department, and also the LBA contract, or the interlocal agreement with Litchfield and Bantam LBA. Those did eat up a lot of legal costs for us. We're going to try to figure out how much each of those items cost. So maybe next year we could hit less than $10,000, I hope.
Yeah, but next year it'd be balanced out because we have the union negotiations, right?
We had union this year, and they go into next fiscal year. So I kind of swapped, I brought the labor down to 10, and the regular town council to 15. Yeah, I think we should be trying to get to a more correct budget. And if our town council costs are going to be $15,000 a year on average, then we should budget $15,000 a year. Healthcare did go up due to some changes in personnel and a slight increase in premium. And that was about it. I'm going to try to get a better line on the Eldridge Water see exactly what we're paying for there. I do believe it's maintenance of the system plus the testing that is required by the state, and believe me, they're there. If you miss one single thing, they're sending a letter, letting you know.
Now, is the Vintech in this budget here?
No, that's coming up.
Okay.
Torrington Area Health Board, mental health, some requests, Susan B. Anthony, we do every year, Fish. Greenwoods, I did bump it up to 1,000. It's really not a lot for what they do. They did do a presentation at the COG meeting last Thursday. They do a lot of outreach in our community. They're hitting our schools now, which I think is a wonderful thing, especially with the opioids and all the issues with heroin and other drugs. So I really kind of have to support what they're doing a little bit more, I think, because 1 ounce of prevention here can save not only money, but the lives of people moving forward. So hopefully you agree that maybe a little bit more for them is reasonable. Highway, not a lot of real change. Salaries, of course. If anything jumps out at you, let me know.
Salt and sand. Do we have a savings this year because of the weather?
In the overall amount, we may end up seeing that,
Yeah.
although we had 3 ice events.
Yeah.
Even this recent one was kind of a nuisance because it kind of froze
Yeah,
up
we're
again.
coming tomorrow too. Or
Something
maybe.
tomorrow night.
But that may be something where at the end of the year you may be able to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, and we're getting some good prices. We're treating our own salt now, which is also savings. Any questions on that? We're gonna go for a record on the selectmen's meeting here.
I know.
LoSiP, I think we're figuring around 29,000 perhaps from OPM if we see anything next year. Insurance was a 3% increase across the board for all lines of coverage, liability, auto, and property, and workers' comp. Miscellaneous selectmen, tree warden, we do have a new one, Kyle Rosenbeck. And that does cover his training and documents required for the job. Fishwood County Dispatch. Computer replacements, that's where we put the one for the fiscal clerk, I believe, and 2 others, one for transfer station, and there's a third, building inspector. And a slight decrease in tree trimming.
How about tree removal?
Tree trimming and removal, yeah,
Did
it's
that
like
go-
$5,000 decrease.
It is.
Civil division shows our Social Security, Medicare, unemployment compensation. I dropped the unemployment down to 1,000. I don't foresee any need in the near future. Safety, here's where Vintech is. Also the streetlights, which has really, I think maybe with the LED changeover, has saved us some money. But then you have, this is for Vintech staffing. I can give that comment over. Vintech staffing, the LVA and BAM fire fees. The contract that we're looking to approve tomorrow night, for next fiscal year, there will be a 3% increase on the LVA, the BAM fire, and the ambulance fee. So that's included in there along with Vintech staffing for 365 days, 12 hours a day. So probably, it's about a $46,000 increase over what we currently have budgeted. Because last year we did have EMS supplies and EMS maintenance.
So you don't have to have that in?
It's all there.
It's all there.
That's the total EMS.
So last year, what was it, 210?
That was for Vintech only.
Vintech only, and we're talking another, we say 62,000.
With the 3% increase, you're looking at $72,445
Next year.
That's the total for next year, without Vintech. Let's see, dog warden, really nothing changed there. And we have a lot of applicants, so we're gonna have to start going through those pretty soon.
Are we gonna, not tonight, but sit down and talk about what that position entails truly? And do we wanna fill it before, I mean, do you want to fill it right away?
Well, I do have a call out to the state animal control officer over another item, and I want to talk to him about this too. It's been a month and a half since our previous one stepped down. I have really received one, maybe two calls in that time period for animal control. One was this past Sunday for a lost dog, which was solved really fast, luckily. And the other one was regarding some animals over on Anderson Road, their care and everything. Really have to look at that position. It's a union position, but look at what's needed. Is it a stipend instead? You know, based on how much we really need an animal control officer. You know, it's great to have someone 24/7 available. You need to pay for that service, obviously. But do we need to have a 20-hour week or a 15-hour-week person?
No, the other thing is that's a union position, so you'll obviously talk about that in your negotiation.
Yeah.
It would just be, if the town doesn't need it, it would be a shame to hire somebody to go into negotiation. You know what I mean? If we really need to assess what's needed,
Yeah, but what do you do if you do need it? What do you?
then we hire it. And we,
No, but I'm saying, if you don't hire the position, I mean, it's great Tommy gets the calls, but are you gonna go out and start rescuing animals or whatever she does, or pick up that animal? I mean,
is there anything you haven't done in your life? I mean,
Well, no, I know what you mean, but we need to hire someone at 15 hours a week for a job that literally has taken, in the last month and a half, has taken about 15 minutes.
well, what's Bethlehem do? Or Goshen, or Warren?
Goshen's tied in with the Torrington Animal Control, and they're charged based on a per capita rate, like I can't remember exactly, $5.24.
so for the next, for our
I mean,
next,
that would be the ideal way to go, if we could get in something
Right.
like that, but if
but
it,
that was expensive too.
You know, yearly it's a savings of $5,200, but the initial cost
That's
was
a chunk.
$4,700 for the facility that we have to pay into.
For, maybe for our next meeting, we all do a research and look what the other towns do, and then we can discuss what we think we need, and Tom can tell us what you've done in the last month and a half. Right?
Yeah.
Which will be 2 months. I just think it would be a shame to hire somebody to have it change. It would not be fair to the town or the person that we hire, you know, if indeed it does change.
well, does it have to be 15 hours a week?
Well, then we have to negotiate it down.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And there's a cost to that, so we need to really define what we need,
Right,
Yeah,
I
figure out
mean,
what we
and then
need.
go ahead.
when you sit down with the union and negotiate, I mean, that's part of,
Yeah.
you know, you go back and forth, you say the town really doesn't need a 15-hour, you know.
Right.
I mean, the union's not gonna tell you, yes, you need 15 hours. I mean, if you can justify in the last 2 months, you've used an hour, you know,
Right.
maybe you hired somebody for 10 hours or 5 hours. I don't know
Just a
what.
stipend for on-call,
Yeah,
which
or
sounds like
on-call,
might
yeah.
be, we need to
Per call,
define that
on
though.
call. Okay. Bill inspector, no change there. He did, this is something we approved a while back. He's down to a base salary of $20,000 plus 30% of the fees he takes in. And I think this is what Nancy put in for building inspection commissions. I think she's wants to put a number in there on an estimated expense for that, so I'm gonna have to talk to her about that. And the rest stay pretty close to the same. Transfer station, again, 2.5% kind of placeholder for next year. And I have to sit down with Greg tomorrow and go over this. We have seen a $1,400 a month increase in the recycling tipping fees. And that's added quite a bit of money for recycling. Some other expenses there that are going up are the well monitoring. We monitor, I think, 4 wells in that area of dwellings. He's looking for brush and debris for the big tub grinder, but again, we are still doing pretty well with burn as needed. I took that out just to keep the costs down. I will have Greg in tomorrow to kind of really discuss some of the increases here, exactly what's going on. A lot of it's out of our hands. It's just what it costs to get rid of trash now, recycling. It's getting to a point it's cheaper to throw it out than it is to recycle it, which is a shame. Senior center. She was looking for an increase to $15 per hour, a 12-hour week for the clerk down there, employee. There's a bit of a bump from 1061. I kind of suggesting they go to $12 per hour. It's a new hire. They knew what they were getting paid when they got into it. This may have to change anyways, depending on what the state does. If we go to a 15-hour, although they were going to do that in increases too.
Yes.
We're going to bring up the minimum wage to 15 and increases over the years. Heat, I talked to her about this today. She put in $1,798. She was going on a 3-year average, and currently she has spent, she hasn't, but we have spent $1,700 so far this year for heat. So I really kind of recommend that we stay at the $3,100. The place will need start needing a lot more maintenance down there too. It's starting to age. And she wants to pressure wash the outside, fix, paint the trim. So she put in some extra monies for that.
Shouldn't those be capital expenses?
It's kind of a maintenance thing,
Is it?
you know? And it's hard to do that year to year because you're not necessarily pressure washing the place or painting it every year. It's something the Board of Finance can look at, see if they want a capital, but they've been getting away from that, going to more shelf life, and everything of the product and the cost of the product. Anything on the senior center? I think that's it.
What about capital?
Don't have capital yet.
Don't have it?
Probably should have it for next meeting.
Any recommendations from the equipment committee?
Yeah, there was some
Any big ticket items?
replacing the one-time dump. They're looking at this international Chevy truck. It's got a Duramax engine, Allison transmission, 4-wheel drive. It's larger than a 1-ton, but you don't need a CDL to operate it. They get a sander and a plow with it, probably a V plow.
To replace our
1-ton.
1-ton.
Yeah. That would be coming up this year. I'll have to look at the rest of the list.
What about the air packs for the fire department?
That,
Did they purchase the original?
no, we put in, last year was voted on 65,000.
Right, did they purchase those?
No, because
No.
we wanted to get them all at the same time. And the next 65,000 is supposed to be in this year's capital budget, or this coming year's capital. But
Well-
there is a grant out there that they applied for the air packs, so they're kind of waiting to see on that too.
Because what was there, another additional 8 or 10 air packs to be replaced on top of the original?
I think they're replacing them all.
Yeah, but I think they did the 65,000 for this year, and then I think there was like 8 or 10 for next year,
Yeah, but they're waiting to have all the money in
all
all at
together.
once. 'Cause-
So they can move that money right over to next year?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's in capital, can be used the following year.
yeah.
So I mean, I think that this budget seems, there's not a lot left to cut back truly, and we've gone over it. Is the Board of Finance gonna go through the long process of bringing every department in, or are they only going to like justify changes? I just think from here, it doesn't need to be a far process from here to the budget hearing, right? And like, it seems like it's getting drawn out further and further every year, and it maybe doesn't need to.
My goal with this was to have some good discussions with each department head, go over every line item, find out what's being spent out of that line item, what for, and then go over any of the increases and the justification for that increase. And I want to get it all in the notes for each of the columns that need it. And hopefully, when it goes to the Board of Finance, I think they'll definitely bring in Highway Department, they'll probably bring in Fire Department, Library, and maybe Senior Center / Beach and Rec. But the rest of it is kind of cut and dry. It is what it is.
No, they use it at a transfer station sometimes, but,
Yeah.
But the other ones, a lot of them, they don't even bring in.
Well, they have, and they just kind of, it's like beating a dead horse, I think. And I'm not trying to say it's not worth it, because maybe it is, but I get Bob Valentine does it this way, right? And Woodbury does it this way, and I kind of get why you've moved it and started trying to do it this way, because you're the one who's working with all the departments, you have more sort of understanding of what's going on than they do, and so to just ask what is largely often volunteers to come in and justify it all again and again and again.
Well, the thing is,
Seems
that
redundant.
if you start doing this, what's the purpose of the Board of Finance?
Well, to control the spending
Right.
and oversee
So
it,
they should meet with some of these bigger boards.
Oh, yeah.
of course.
And go through item to item, because you may find something from somebody coming in talking about something that we're not aware of, or
Absolutely, I think they should, departments who are asking for any sort of major changes should have to come in and explain those, and the Board of Finance is in charge
But
of,
like-
but not the management of day-to-day, which it seems like every year they kind of go down that road and then back out of that road, and it just is a waste of
It should be a fairly quick process this year, I
time.
think. I don't know, if you get it at the next Board of Finance meeting, which I guess is next week, that's the end of February, we're still be getting some numbers into March. I would hope they're done by the end of March.
did they start meeting with anybody, or
No,
getting budget yet? No.
no, they'll have this for the next meeting.
Oh, okay.
And then with all the notes.
What about the weed control?
The weed control, that was,
Randomly.
Did they put something in already?
same number,
Same, okay.
30. That was the first,
30. Did they get 30?
30 last year.
Yeah, did they get 30 or 25?
30
Did they?
approved.
Okay.
Yep.
Can we, is it fair that the Board of Selectmen requests that they are done with, or have a proposed budget to go to vote at like May 1st or something? So that we can start the voting process early, so if there is a problem, we can maybe address it and get it done, so it doesn't go on and on and on and on, because that's not fair to the taxpayer.
We'll have to see how other towns do it. We do have, normally we wait for the Board of Ed school budget to be finalized and voted on, which their vote is usually around May 1st, I think.
We could be ready to go like right after that, it would be
Ready
nice.
for that. You know, we're still gonna be waiting for revenue numbers too. I mean, overall, this budget is down by, I don't know, if it's 20 or 30,000, but we gotta look at the revenue side too as it comes in. And that's gonna help say, well, we gotta cut this more, or something like that too.
Oh, we didn't even look at capital, put money away for
Right.
capital, right?
Well, I have 300 in there for capital.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, same as last year. If we can maintain that number year to year, I think we'd be doing a great service to the town, just to be able to pay as we go. So hopefully we can maintain that number, because usually that's the first one that gets slashed, is capital repair.
But, you have to start looking at replacing stuff in town.
Absolutely.
are.
And, years ago, they used to put money every year allocated for certain projects. And, you're kidding yourself if you don't think you're gonna replace a fire truck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Planning it.
If you're thinking about getting an ambulance back in town, you're gonna have to buy an ambulance.
Right.
That's a 2007, it's never gonna pass, you know, so.
That's what we're planning at.
Yeah.
We're going with and I asked the fire department and the highway department, give me a 5-year and a 10-year plan,
Right.
because we gotta really start planning this out. We're not gonna do it like they did in the past, you can't. When they had this great idea, we're gonna put away $300,000 for a fire truck, and it never got approved by the townspeople, well, it never happened. So what we're gonna do in the capital budget is put that money away each year, have it approved by the townspeople at the town meeting in the capital budget. And that money will be locked in for that purpose and only for that purpose in the future. And we'll be able to carry it over the years and build on it.
That's what they carry it over year to year.
Yep.
I mean, we've done that in the past. I mean.
Not the same way, because we're gonna vote on this.
Well,
once it's voted on, it's
there was
locked
always
in.
a different opinion on whether you had to vote for capital or not.
Well, according to
I
the
sure hope you do.
people that I've talked to in finance, well, from Avon and Bristol, yes, this is the way to do it. You create kind of a lockbox
Right.
for either a piece of equipment or a vehicle or whatever, and that is set up where that money will go in there and it can't be touched in the future.
Because
In the past, if you didn't vote on it, it wasn't.
well, you know, that may be well said, but that's not how the system worked. Because I know years that we put money away. You can look at $10,000 for a new vault door. That was in the proposed.
It's still there.
It's still there, but the town probably never voted on that,
Yeah, we did.
but they carried that.
We voted on it in our budget.
I really think if we're gonna put large chunks of money away without voting on it, that it's a real problem, so.
That's why we've done
Well,
that.
you
No
have to,
interest
because
in
you know
doing
what, you have to, because you know what? We have no record of anything where we keep saying that the town didn't vote on it.
Yeah, it's not in the budget.
But you have to
There
vote
was
on
money
it.
put away in the budget, because I was on the board of finances that we did them. I have copies that I checked, and it'll say $243,000 for
But was that an
proposed.
approved, or that was a proposed budget
It
that
was
never got
in with
voted
the
on?
budget. It was in with the budget. Years ago, we never voted on capital. We just voted on the budget.
We go back, it's whatever the document is that you're voting on at the town meeting when you approve the budget. And that's what, only thing you can go up by. That's why each year we put in $250,000 or $200,000 for Smoky Hollow. And we vote on that each year because we knew it's gonna cost us at a certain point. So it's all set and set aside for Smoky Hollow. That's how you have to do it.
Well, that's how you're gonna have to do it, because there has to be a record of where you're supposed to go. Because when it comes up that you have to buy a big purchase item, it better be documented that you have the money in it.
Definitely, that's why we're kind of changing the way we're doing things.
Yeah, and I'd really like the town to vote on that, and not 3 people or 8 people. I
Right.
like.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
DOT application?
Oh.
I have to go pick up my kids.
Yeah, we gotta keep going. What was the application for?
Triathlon,
Triathlon.
Triathlon, yeah.
yeah, June 2nd, June 2nd. Route 63, 109, 61. They're not gonna shut down the roads, are they?
I'll inquire about that to make sure they don't.
I feel like there's always haying that day, and there's always shutting down of the roads.
What is it?
It's June
June
3rd.
2nd?
There'll be manure spreading or something that's inconvenient, but, I'll make a motion to approve the Iron Dam application.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, Tom, Jesus.
Let me get it down for you.
Thank you. All right, motion to adjourn?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Yep.
Second? All in favor?
Slick, I'm ready. Sorry, I got it wrong. This was the longest selectmen's meeting ever. It is the one where I was supposed to run and get my kids quickly.
It's always that way. Whenever you have to do something.
Whenever I like leave people somewhere.
Whenever you have to do something, that's when you get stuck in traffic or something happens.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No
All right, have a
problem.
good evening.
Have a good night. That screen is very handy, Tom. Nice job with the wire. It's good.
Thank you. Worked out well.